Hey, for this video today, we want to go over a few different aspects of our final project in our communications class 2200. Briefly, what I'll be covering is the audience, the analysis of the audience, and really who we wanted to reach out to with our messages. And that goes right into the message or the goal of our communications assignment. After I talk about that, we're going to go look at the Facebook page that we created, which is one of our 3 ways of communication. And that's really going to allow us to see how we've put what we've talked about into play or into motion. So if you look here, to start off with in our audience analysis, the first sentence says, the audience we will look to affect is mostly young adults who are entering college with limited to no professional communication skills. As you can see, that's a very open audience. Specifically, we're looking for those people who not just are going into business, but who look to have a career or job in any way, because we can see the importance of communication as it continues to talk about. Most Americans agree that communication skills are a most important skill for a student to master to get ahead in today's modern world. We really stress that throughout this, and that's what we really saw in our project, was the need for people to be able to improve those communication skills. As we scroll down, you go to our messaging goals, and this really just starts off with the icing on top. Our goal is getting this information out to help others who we know. Others what we know, that there's a great class being offered and you should join. We have had the opportunity to join this class, to learn from it, and we almost felt it part of our duty to give back to those who are looking for these classes. There's lots of students who go into classes blindly, not knowing if it's going to benefit them, and this is a class that we found can definitely help people. And we found a professor who can reach out and be that professor who actually helps you learn, because we know that there's 2 parts to everything, and the part of the professor plays in a class is huge, almost bigger than the actual subject itself. And so as you read through it, we want it to be efficient and not waste our time for those, not waste our time or those of our viewers. This is really important to us. As you go through this, you'll find that it's very concise. There's not a lot of filler or things that is going to take up your time, because John and I really wanted to make sure that people were able to view it, to see it, and then to make their decision very quickly. We know that today's society is a society of patience. People don't want to wait around for those things that they want to get. And so we tried to make things with pictures, short paragraphs, things that'll bring you in quickly, and then you can get out and move on. So now I want to go over to the Facebook page, and please ignore my friends over here, the people I wanted to invite. As you can see, I haven't quite rolled it out yet, but just going over the Facebook page that we've created. Wanted to put Slick right on the background so people know specifically the school that we're talking about, and then the class, which is Business Communications 2200 over here. The great thing about Facebook is really the unlimited amount of people you can reach out to. This is something that all my friends and people who are close to me who can see, and then I can just share it to the public and anyone who's looking for this class. Lots of people turn to Facebook for information or for reviews, and so they'll be able to find it and not only know which class to take, but where to take it and which teacher to take it with. So I haven't fully been rolling this out yet, but you'll see that the first post that you see, Business Communications, taking you right to Rate My Professor. Lots of people who are going to be here are already thinking about taking the class, and so what's going to be important is making sure that they pick the right teacher. This is huge. Like I said earlier in the video, if you are looking to go into something, you need the teacher to actually help you learn. And we wanted to make sure everyone knew that Lon wasn't in this class to just have us read or do dirty, boring work until we get an A in the class. He actually wanted us to learn and take things out of it. And so right here, you're able to go and find all the other students' reactions and thoughts about the class that they took with him, and really the reviews. And I'm going to be honest, this is a huge tool that I use when I'm picking classes. So we definitely want it to be the highlight of people pointing towards our class. And then just a quick introduction, reaching out to college students, like we said, we wanted to specify down on them. We wanted to help your college experience. The time for register to class right now is huge because people have registered for classes, but they're now starting to look to switch and to trade based more on like the teachers. They know the classes they want to take, but more who they want to take it with. And so here you go. That's just a brief summary of our audience, our main message and purpose, and then a little preview of our Facebook page. Hope you're able to get something from it. I hope that you can see the work that we put into this and how simple it really is just to get the message out that there's a great class and a great teacher offering it.
Hello again. This is our presentations campaign. I am John Buddensick. You heard from my group member and team partner Dustin Winn just before. He talked a little bit about the Facebook page and what we were trying to accomplish, and he worked really hard on that. So big props to Dustin for putting that together. I was a little bit more responsible for putting together the video as well as this website that we had set up. So we're going to briefly break down the video that we had uploaded. It was a little bit silly, but I thought it was entertaining and it was kind of fun. What I was trying to do here was just show that you can take the things you learn in this class and use those at work, and that's where I am here. I know you can't hear the sound, but basically what I'm saying is you can use these things that you learn in business communications and really all communications classes for that matter in all areas of your life. So at work, at home here, you can see me with my dog. I think being a good communicator, in the classroom here, is a big deal. Communication to me is everything, and being able to communicate properly, goes along with that. You cannot communicate, if you can't communicate properly, rather, then you're not communicating. And I think being able to take the things we learned in this class, being able to do it professionally, being able to put together a plan, full of brainstorming ideas and kind of break that down over a couple of weeks to get a nice, streamlined, efficient, plan, and then execute that plan was a big deal for us. And that was something that, me and Dustin both got a lot of experience from this semester was, as I say, putting together, brainstorming and a lot of different ideas and plans and then condensing those week after week until we found, kind of a concrete idea and then executed that idea. And you can see just before Dustin here, I did a brief testimonial of my experience with the class and what I thought was useful, what I thought was beneficial, what I liked about it, and Dustin did the same thing here. I think what we were trying to do was show a student's perspective. We were kind of short for our group, so we just had me and Dustin. We did hire an actress, air quotes, actress, to give a quick, brief, testimonial on her part. But she took our word for it. She was a team trooper. Here she is. But what me and Dustin were trying to say is that it's useful. Like I say, in all applications of life, what we learned from it. Our admiration for Professor Juan. We thought he was incredibly professional. We thought it was a fun class, and we thought the materials themselves were super unique and very useful. I thought the modules day to day and week to week were really interesting and fulfilling in a lot of ways. So that kind of does it for the YouTube video. We can get into our website a little bit more. The website is something we put together that we were just trying to show why. We have this silly guy, why communications? Why should you enroll in these courses? And he kind of tells you why. Communication skills are essential for the successful future career of a student. In this class we did a lot of research on communication and why it's so important. And we were able to find a lot of really useful articles, a lot of useful sources and resources, and I was kind of surprised that there were so many academic professionals, there's business professionals, and students themselves, and even adults that have succeeded in business and other types of careers have all said the same thing for the most part, that communications is one of the biggest things to master, to become a better better at what you do, whether that be a physician, a lawyer, whatever. If you can communicate better in your business or your career, it's going to translate to being more successful at that. And learning those skills early on, in classes like this in 2200, just kind of sets you up down the road. Things that I've learned in this class are going to help me prepare, for group work in the future. It's going to help me prepare to, put together a communications plan, maybe for a business or for another class. I now have some experience doing that, and I would feel more comfortable doing that. So it was very useful, and a lot of useful information that we were able to take from this class. And kind of going over this some more, it just kind of says that communication is and how we connect to one another, whether it's personal, professional, or academic. And this kind of goes back to the video. We wanted to not only put those words out there, but we wanted to put, myself, in those situations. You could see me at work, you could see me at home, you could see me, in kind of a makeshift classroom that, things you learn in this class are going to sharpen your skills. And like I say, communication for, in a lot of people's eyes is everything. And, continuing with some of the great information we uncovered, it is one of the top 2 college skills every student needs, which I thought was really, really interesting. And again, collaboration, communication, and interpersonal skills. In a way, communication, I could say, is part of all 3 of those things. To collaborate, you have to communicate properly. And, I found with Dustin, our interpersonal skills, got better as the semester went on. We weren't really friends before. We didn't know each other very well. But as we worked together, we were able to trust each other, that we were able to get the work done. I had nothing but confidence in him. For his tasks and my tasks. I thought we were able to bounce ideas off of each other well. So again, I think this class has sharpened all 3 of these things for me: collaboration, communication, and interpersonal skills, which for an online class, is difficult to do, but I thought we were able to accomplish this. With the website, we wanted to go ahead and say, why SLCC? You can take communication courses anywhere, but not everywhere has some of the conveniences and some of the nice things that Solid Community does. So we just wanted to kind of show this to somebody that may be looking to take these courses, or who are looking at possibly enrolling in college for the first time, or looking at Solid Community as an option for them. And this just kind of talked a little bit about that. It's a great place to get an education. They have great professors, transferable credits, a good campus. Just something that I, again, wanted to kind of show my experience. I've had a great time here so far. I've met some great people, some great professors, and so we just want to do a quick, brief talk about what SLC can bring to, or SLCC rather, can bring to the student experience. And then we didn't want to just talk about why you should enroll, what you can gain from enrolling. We wanted to show you how you can enroll. Dustin did a good job of that on the Facebook page, and for people that may not have Facebook, or somebody that stumbles across this web page or blog, you can go from our how do I enroll, kind of break this down. You can click here. We'll open this in a new tab, but after, hopefully if somebody had read some of the materials we had on the Facebook page, they watched our video and broke down our web page here, and it's something they wanted to look into further, you could register for classes directly from our web page, which we thought was an important part of the campaign, is not only put the information out there, but give the student a way to go ahead and get the ball rolling and register for themselves. And then our favorite part of the campaign was about Professor Lon. This is one of those classes where I think we'll both remember for a long time, Dustin and I. We, again, had great experiences, but the week-to-week materials were super interesting. There's so many classes that are just bogged down with chapter after chapter of reading, and it just felt like we did not, for me personally, I felt like classes where you are doing busy work and just reading tons of stuff and doing quizzes week after week, it becomes kind of mundane, and I didn't necessarily hold on to that information as well as I did in a class like this, where it's super interactive. You're working a lot with other students. Like I say, I learned a great deal about Dustin, his work ethic, and what he could bring as a group partner, and I don't think I could have got that in another class. Even communications classes that I've taken in the past had a different approach than this. But this talked a little bit about why Lon. You heard our testimonials, you heard what we thought about the class, but not only could you hear what we had to say, go over some of the benefits of doing this, you can see that the professor that is teaching these courses is incredibly successful in what he does, and really whatever he does. He's successful in business, the list goes on, but we wanted to show students that you're not just getting any old professor, you're getting a really great guy that has experience in different fields. He's pretty much exceeded at everything he's done, and that translates into his work with students. Like I say, this is one of those things where I will remember this class. I'll remember Professor Lon and his materials, and I can't say that for every professor I've had here. But again, we didn't want to just take our word for it, so we went ahead and linked Rate My Professors, which Lon should be very proud of, because there is not a bad word to say. Everybody loves him. I think a lot of people have the same experience we did. It was super informational rather. And while the course was unique, there was some interesting work that we had to do. Like I say, I never really worked on a campaign or a communications plan with somebody. Being online, I think that brings a different challenge as well. But this kind of forced me to get out of my comfort zone and allowed me to experience some things that I probably would not have experienced if I did not take the course. But the list goes on and on. Everybody seems to have the same feel. They really liked their experience with Juan's classes, and I can't say that enough. So going back to the webpage, that's pretty much it. I think Dustin did a great job of explaining the Facebook page. We went ahead and went over the two things, the other forms of media that we wanted to put out there. And again, this is one of those classes that I learned a great deal from, and I think this is a great asset. Lon and his courses are a great asset to Salt Lake Community College, and I think it's one of the better courses I will take in my college career. So thank you very much, and best wishes.